collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Boonboom handle from Bakuage Sentai Boonboomger. So as you can see on the front of the box here, it has technically three modes. The sword mode, which I guess is officially called the rod mode. Then it has the gun mode and the handle mode, although the handle mode is really just the gun mode turned slightly left 45 degrees maybe, so... But we'll get there. In any case, front of the box looks cool. You have all three modes depicted. You have the three main team members who use this weapon, featured very prominently. Here on the top, you have a picture of the rod mode. Then you have a full 5-team shot there, which is pretty cool. Although orange and black have a different kind of sidearm weapon. Here on the bottom, not really much going on, just your standard warnings and whatnot. But it does include two LR44 watch batteries, so you do not have to provide your own batteries for this, which is pretty nice. Got a picture of Boonboom Red on the side. Over here you have the three team members again. And then spinning it around to the back, really just showing you the three modes, how you can use it. It does have compatibility with the changer. We'll check out all of that. So pretty cool packaging. Gonna go ahead, get everything out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here is the Boonboom handle straight out of the box. It does come packaged fully extended in the rod mode. Got some decent paint. You got some white and red down here, a little bit of red, a little bit of metallic blue down here, and I believe this is just molded in a different colored plastic. Spinning it around to the back, here's the battery compartment, so this is where you would pull the tab out. If you would ever need to change the batteries, you just depress that little blue button there and slide the panel off. Has a speaker right here. I don't believe it has an on and off switch, which is kind of a bummer. I always prefer when these things have on and off switches, but it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I would say this thing is probably like 1.5 feet tops, if I had to guess. And it's kind of funny. You think you would hold it, you know, like the keyblade by this part in the center here, but there's no buttons there. So you actually kind of have to hold it out here and use this trigger because you got a button there, you got a button there, you got a button there. But yeah, I feel like that's a little awkward to hold it like that. Like if I'm using it as a sword, I feel like I would want to hold it there. My hand does kind of fit in the middle there, which is surprising. And then again, we got the Phillips head screwdriver looking design, just like the sword for off-road with the Robo. But yeah, that's pretty much it aesthetically. Let's go ahead and get into some of the functions. So in the sword mode, you get a kind of generic slashing sound. Holding the button down in this mode doesn't do anything. If you hit this button, same slash sound. Same slash sound. So I guess technically you could hold it like this if you wanted to, but then you kind of have to keep like your finger up like this to activate the sounds. Or I guess you could try to hit it with your finger like this. So I guess that kind of works. But to get the attack sound, you have to hold down one of these two buttons. Oh no, I guess you actually have to hold down the top one. So you get Bakuage Finish. I thought it would work with either one, but I guess it's only the top one. Now, if you hold it down, you have to kind of wait till it charges up. If you stop in the middle, you get that kind of fizzling out sound. So there you go. That's pretty much it for the sword mode on its own. Now, if you want to convert this into either of the other two modes, you're going to just pop this back. Now, it has like a lock. You can see that there's a clip where this piece clips in there, and I thought you needed some kind of release. You only need a release when you're going back to the sword mode. So this button here, you can see, moves that little piece. Now, I find it's kind of easier to push that back while I'm pushing this down. It just kind of makes it go a little bit easier. And then if I want to go back, I have to hold this down. And you can hear you get kind of like a conversion sound there. So there you go. Now we are in the gun mode and the handle mode. So they're trying to pretend that this is two different modes. But I will say at least that each mode has its own sounds. So that's kind of cool. So if you have it like this and it's just supposed to be the steering wheel or handle, you can use these buttons here to kind of get some driving sound effects. So you get like some, screeching sounds, kind of like you're driving. This will honk, and then if you hold this down, it'll turn that mode off. You can activate it with either button, but only this one, holding it down, turns it off. So, I mean, that's kind of neat. I appreciate they're doing something, by pretending these are two different modes. At least they're giving you sounds. Now, it doesn't matter, like, if you move this, there's no, like, gyroscope or anything in there. It would be kind of neat if the turn sounds were kind of activated by actually turning the wheel, but I guess that's too fancy, and I get it. But, so now if we're in the gun mode and we hit this button, you get, a general firing sound, and if we hold it down, so if you hold it down, you get the same kind of charging up sound by holding this button in the sword mode. You get the finish sound attack, and the same kind of thing. If you don't hold it down long enough, it will fizzle out. But yeah, that's kind of it for this on its own. It doesn't do a ton, but it does at least have sound effects for all three of the modes, which is kind of cool. But it does, of course, have compatibility with the changer, which we can slide on right here. So we will go ahead and make sure that this is on. And then you're going to pop it in this spot and then slide it over. So you get Boom Boom finish again. If you spin this, it just activates the standby music again. Still just get that. See? Alright, so as you saw there, while this is attached, the two buttons here will give you some sound effects and phrases like you're using it in the handle mode. And then if you ever want to cancel them, you can hit the trigger over here and that'll kind of stop the sounds, because there's really, attaching this gives you that finish, then it gives you the two, buttons for the handle mode giving some sounds. It doesn't really give you any additional sounds for the gun mode. Now if we go ahead and transform this back to the sword mode, where is the button? Here we go. So you get the honking sound. So having this attached really doesn't do anything for the sword mode. It's just going to keep giving you that honking sound. Let me pop this back around. And then so you can, when I changed it back to the handle / gun mode, it realized that this was still attached, so it did that attached sound again. So, doesn't really do anything for the sword mode, doesn't really do anything for the gun mode, but it really, unlocks more sounds for the handle mode, and then you can use the trigger to cancel. Now, when you want to take this off, there's a little button right here that you have to slide up, and that will release so that you can slide this off, because what that's doing is that's depressing that little button right there, which allows you to slide it off. So yeah, that's pretty much it for connecting it to the connecting the changer to the handle. It's neat, I think it's cool that it has that compatibility. It's mostly used for the driving, because I think kind of when they get in their mecha, then they attach this and then they're driving around, so the sounds make sense for that. I don't think they connect this while they're using this as a weapon. That's why it doesn't really do anything sound-wise for that. So the Boonboom handle's okay. I mean, is it a must-have? I would say probably not. If it came with some kind of exclusive, you know, a car or something like that, then you'd probably want to pick it up. Kind of luckily it doesn't, because that way you can pass on it if you don't really care about it. It's kind of a neat toy. It gives you, you know, a couple of neat sounds. It has the rod or sword mode. It has the gun mode. Calling the handle mode, you know, just the gun mode turned 45 degrees is kind of lame in my opinion. I wish there was something where maybe like for the gun mode, you know, maybe the barrel could pop out a little bit further or something. I don't know. And I feel like with the way the hinge works here, this is still kind of empty, so maybe they could have done something where the barrel popped out a little bit more. Just something to make it look a little different, but that's a minor complaint. You know, you get some decent sounds for the gun and the sword mode. Really, you just kind of get the generic either slashing or shooting sound, and then you get the finish sound. Surprisingly, most of the sound effects come from the handle mode, where, you know, hitting the buttons gives you some kind of like driving, taking a corner, skidding, coming to a complete stop sounds, things like that. And then when you attach the changer, you get the finish sound again, and also you get a couple like phrases from hitting those same buttons. So really, most of the functionality for this is in the handle mode, and then the sword and gun mode have about 2 sounds each, which is kind of funny. You would think that the handle mode might not be the most lively of the 3 modes, but it certainly seems to be. So again, you know, do collectors need this one? I'm going to leave it up to you, but if you're really just trying to collect the mecha and the individual cars, you could probably skip this one or wait for a sale. This is definitely one of those things that I think you would get, mess around with for a little bit, and then probably never look at it again, because it doesn't have enough to keep bringing you back. It doesn't have anything to kind of keep you excited. Like, at least with the changer, every time you get a new car, you can get a new sound out of that. This is pretty much, I've gotten all the sounds I can get out of this, and so there's not really much to keep me coming back. But if you can find it on sale or something later on down the line, maybe towards the end of the show, might be worth picking up just for a display, or just if you want to have the complete collection. But I definitely don't think this one is a must-have for collectors. I think you'd get bored with it pretty quickly. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.